憧れを今掴んだ身を委ねればいい価値はこの手に3つ数えてThe Showtime 大歓声の名前に
Starting at number 10, we have the anime called Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. The world is in the midst of an industrial revolution when horrific creatures emerge from a mysterious virus, ripping through the flesh of humans to sate their never-ending appetite. The only way to kill these beings, known as Cabane, is by destroying their steel-coated hearts. However, if bitten by one of these monsters, the victim is doomed to fate worse than death, as the fallen rise once more to join the ranks of their fellow undead. Only the most fortified of civilians have survived this turmoil, as is the case with the island of Hinomoto, where mankind has created a massive wall to protect themselves from the endless hordes of Cabane. The only way into these giant fortresses is via heavy armored trains, which are serviced and built by young men such as Ikoma. Having created a deadly weapon that he believes will easily pierce through the hearts of the Cabane, Ikoma eagerly awaits the day when he will be able to fight using his new invention. Little does he know, however, that his chance will come much sooner than he expected. And dropping in at number 9, we have the anime called The Legend of Legendary Heroes. Alpha Stigma are known to be eyes that can analyze all types of magic. However, they are more infamously known as cursed eyes that can only bring destruction and death to others. Reiner Lute, a talented mage and also an Alpha Stigma bearer, was once a student of the Roland Empire's Magician Academy, an elite school dedicated to training magicians for military purposes. However, after many of his classmates died in a war, he makes an oath to make the nation a more orderly and peaceful place, with fellow survivor and best friend Scion Astel. Now that Scion is the king of Roland, he orders Reiner to search for useful relics that will aid the nation. Together with Ferris Eris, a beautiful and highly skilled swordswoman, Reiner goes on a journey to search for relics of the legendary heroes from the past and also uncover the secrets behind his cursed eyes. And rolling in at number 8, we have the anime called Demon King Daimao. Dreaming of changing the world for good, Akuto Sai transfers to a constant magic academy where he befriends a virtuous ninja clan member Junko Hattori. On the way to the academy, they vow to make the world a better place together. However, the situation suddenly takes a turn for the worse upon his arrival. It is prophesied that he will become the Demon King. As word of his destiny spreads, the school begins to fear him, and Junko's trust in him falters. While Akuto is determined not to let his predicted future control his fate, it seems as though everything he says and does only to serve to reinforce the fact that he's destined to be the Demon King. Moreover, he is surrounded by a harem of beautiful girls who each have their own plans for him, ranging from bringing him to justice to simply showering him with love. With his newly awakened powers, Akuto must cope with the constantly growing list of misfortune and fight to prove that his fate is not set in stone. Sliding in at number 7, we have the anime called The Gray Man. Losing a loved one is so painful that one may sometimes wish to be able to resurrect them, a weakness that the Ingamatic Millennium Earl exploits. To make his medical weapons known as Ukama, he uses the souls of the dead that are called back. Once a soul is placed in an Ukama, it is trapped forever, and the only way to save them is to exorcise them from the vessel using the anti-Ukama weapon, Innocence. After spending 3 years as a disciple of the General Cross, Alan Walker is sent to the Black Order, an organization comprised of those willing to fight Akuma and the Millennium Earl, to become the official exorcist. With an arm as his Innocence and a cursed eye that can see the suffering souls within the Akuma, it's up to Alan and his fellow exorcists to stop the Millennium Earl's ultimate plot, one that can lead to the destruction of the world. And coming from the dead at number 6, we have the anime called Dead Man Wonderland. It looked like it would be a normal day for Genta Igarashi and his classmates. They were preparing to go on a class field trip to a certain prison amusement park called Dead Man Wonderland, where the convicts perform dangerous acts for the onlookers' amusement. However, Genta's life is quickly turned upside down when his whole class gets massacred by a mysterious man in red. Framed for the incident and sentenced to death, Genta is sent to the very jail he was supposed to visit. But Genta's nightmare is only just the beginning. The young protagonist is thrown into a world with sadistic inmates and ingamatic powers, to live in constant fear of the lethal collar placed around his neck that is slowed only by winning in the prisoner's deadly games. Genta must bet his life to survive in a ruthless place where it isn't easy to tell friend from foe, while trying to find the mysterious red man and clear his name in Dead Man Wonderland. And bubbling up at number 5, we have the anime called Beelzebub. Ishiyama High is a school populated entirely by delinquents, where non-stop violence and lawlessness are the norm. However, there is one universally acknowledged rule. Don't cross first-year student Tatsumi Aga, Ishiyama's most vicious fighter. One day, Aga is by a riverbed when he encounters a man floating down the river. After being retrieved by Aga, the man splits down the middle to reveal a baby, which crawls onto Aga's back and immediately forms an attachment to him. Though he doesn't know it yet, this baby is named Kasir de Epera Beelzebub IV, or Baby Beel for short, the son of the Demon Lord. As if fighting the future lord of the underworld isn't enough, Uga is also confronted by Hildegard, Beel's demon maid. Together they attempt to raise a baby Beel. Although surrounded by juvenile delinquents and demonic powers, the two of them may be in for more of a challenge than they can imagine. And at number 4, we have the anime called Nura Rise of the Yokai Clan. Riku Nura doesn't want anything to do with the evil yokai and just wants a normal life. Too bad he is a quarter yokai, and Nura Hyoan, his grandfather, is insistent that he takes over as head of the Nura clan. He's able to keep his supernatural secret life hidden from his classmates, as he can only transform into yokai at night for 6 hours at a time. Unfortunately for him, various yokai factions are out to target both his yokai and human friends, and like it or not, he needs to embrace his yokai side. Life is not easy when you're Nihirion's grandson. Ooh, and at number 3 we have the anime called Seraph the End. With the appearance of a mysterious virus that kills everyone above the age of 13, mankind becomes enslaved by previously hidden power-hungry vampires who emerge in order to subjugate society with the promise of protecting the survivors in exchange for the donations of their blood. Among these survivors are Hachiro and Michaelia Hayakato, two young boys who are taken captive from an orphanage along with the other children whom they consider family. Discontent with being treated like livestock under the vampire's cruel reign, Michaelia hatches a rebellious escape plan that is ultimately doomed to fail. The only survivor to come out on the other side is Yushihiro, who is founded by the Moon Demon Company, a military unit dedicated to exterminating the vampires in Japan. Many years later now, the member of the Japanese Imperial Demon Army, Yushihiro, is determined to take revenge on the creatures that slaughtered his family, but at what cost? Seraph the End is a post-apocalyptic supernatural shonen anime that follows a young man's search for retribution, all the while battling for friendship and loyalty against seemingly impossible odds. And coloring at number 2, we have the anime called Blue Exorcist. Humans and demons are two sides of the same coin, as are Asa and Gena, their respective worlds. The only way to travel between the realms is by the means of possession like in ghost stories. However, Satan, the ruler of Gehenna, cannot find a suitable host to possess and therefore remains imprisoned in his world. In a desperate attempt to conquer Asaya, he sends his son instead, intending for him to eventually grow into a vessel capable of possession by the Demon King. Blue Exorcist follows Ren Akumura, who appears to be an ordinary, somewhat troublesome teenager. That is until one day he is ambushed by the demons. His world turns upside down when he discovers that he is in fact the very son of Satan and that his demon father wishes for him to return so they can conquer Asaha together. Not wanting to join the king of Gehenna, Ren decides to begin training to become an exorcist so that he can fight to defend Asaha along with his brother Yukio. And finally, at number 1, we have the anime called Black Clover. Asta and Yuno were abandoned on the same church on the same day. Raised together as children, they came to know of the Wizard King, a title given to the strongest mage in the kingdom, and promised that they would compete against each other for the position of the next Wizard King. However, as they grew up, the stark difference between them became evident. While Yuno is able to wield magic with amazing power and control, Asta cannot use magic at all, and desperately tries to awaken his powers by training physically. When they reach the age of 15, Yuno is bestowed a spectacular grimoire with 4-leaf clover, while Asta receives nothing. However, soon after Yuno is attacked by a person named Labuddy, whose main purpose is to obtain Yuno's grimoire, Asta tries to fight Labuddy but is outmatched. Though without hope and on the brink of defeat, he finds the strength to continue when he hears Yuno's voice. Unleashing his inner emotions and rage, Asta receives a 5-leaf clover grimoire, a black clover, giving him enough power to defeat Labuddy. A few days later, the two friends head out into the world, both seeking the same goal to become the Wizard King. Well, this was today's video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.